Chance Field in Brooklyn, one of baseball's most historic parks.
McDougal leads off. He's had 2 out of 16 in the series. High inside, ball 1. Fellow with the unorthodox batting stance. Inside, ball 2. Strike, 2-1. Laid that one right in there. Figuring McDougal to be taking as the leadoff man in the ball game. A high foul out of play upstairs, up onto the roof. The count becomes 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball hit to Billy Cox. 1 away. Cookie Lavighetto's bringing sunglasses out to Pee Wee Reese as Rizzuto comes up. Now Reese is trotting back out to short. You just saw the blur coming by your screen of Lavighetto returning to the Dodger dugout. Rizzuto's had 2 hits out of 19 times at bat. Ball 1 at the knees inside. Coaching down at first base is Bill Dickey. And at third base, Frank Crosetti. The high pop out to short. Short left. Reese out there under it. 2 away. Coming up now is Mickey Mantle.
Batting in number 3 position.
7 out of 21.
Mickey Mantle.
The leading Yankee hitter at a .333 clip. Little outside, ball 1. As you've learned, if you did not know before, Mantle is a switch hitter. That's left-handed against right-handed pitching and vice versa. Equal power from either side of the plate. Strike. Slow curve. That's the outside part of the platter. Young Billy Lowe's on the mound. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. Ball 3 outside. Full count. On deck is Johnny Mize. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, none on. Top of the first inning. No score. Ball 4. And now up comes Johnny Mize.
Batting in fourth position, number 36, Johnny Mize, first base.
Johnny Mize, who already has won for himself a permanent niche in the hearts of fans everywhere, regardless of which team they may be rooting for. The sentimental hero in this series in any case. Strike one. Took a good cut. He's had 4 out of 9 in the series, 3 of the 4 home runs. Foul back. Strike 2. That must have dented the box of Mr. Walter O'Malley. Someone is pointing to the spot. And actually, it must have gone right on into it. Miss Prescott Thompson, the head on there you just saw. 2 strikes. There's a drive to right center, racing over for it is Snyder, and he makes a nice running catch. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. And so at the middle of the first inning, the score is Yankees nothing, Brooklyn nothing. Last half of the first inning at Ebbets Field. Vic Grashy on the mound, making his second series appearance.
Number 3.
In this series, of course. He had a record of 3 wins and 2 losses in previous World Series. He beat the Dodgers in the second game, which was played here at Ebbets Field, being helped along by 5-run inning his mates gave him in the 6th inning of the ball game. Pitching a very strong game, a 3-hitter, allowing all the hits in 1 inning. So it's Vic Grashy out there on the mound trying to keep the Yankees in the series if he can. Billy Cox, the batter. Ball 1, a little outside. Billy Cox, 4 out of 17. Strike, 1-1. Curve is over. Strike 2. Low outside. 2-2. Another breaking pitch. Two balls, 2 strikes. 5 ball to short left, may drop, and it does. And there goes Cox into second with a pop fly double to left. Billy Cox got a pop fly double along the left field line. Woodling couldn't get into it, nor McDougal out for it.
Number 1, Pee-wee Reese.
And up comes the little Colonel, Pee-wee Reese. The hitting star of the series with 9 out of 21. Closely followed by Duke Snider's clutch hitting. Snider's had 2 hits less, but has driven in 6 runs. Reese has driven in 3. There's a bunt up into the air. Berra in front of the plate has it. Attempted sacrifice, and Reese pops to Berra. And here comes the big Duke. Drove in 4 runs yesterday, and the fans already are beginning to applaud him.
In number 3 position, number 4, Joe Snyder, center fielder.
Duke Snyder, the leading RBI man in this series with 6. Opening day, a homer with 1 on, and yesterday he drove in 4 runs, including a homer with 1 on. High inside, ball 1. Jake Pittler coaching at first base, and the manager, Chuck Dressen, at third. Last half of the first inning. Cox on second, 1 out. A bluff pickoff situation. Inside for knees, ball 2. Jackie Robinson on deck. Cox on second, 1 out. Last half, first inning. No score. Inside, ball 3. Vic Grashey, the Springfield rifle. No concerned now. Ball 4 outside. Up comes Jackie Robinson.
Number 42, Jackie Robinson.
Snyder on second. Snyder on first. Cox on second. 1 out. And here's Jackie. 3 out of 15. The ground ball hit toward third. McDougal has stepped on third and can't make a play anywhere else. There was a slow bounder. Gill stumbled off the bag. I don't know whether or not he might have had a play otherwise or not. Robinson is real quick getting down the line. Duke Snyder on second base. And Jackie Robinson on first. And the hitter is George Schuba. Schuba having replaced Andy Papko. As Red told you earlier, we acquainted you yesterday with the fact that he had injured himself and even had our cameraman get him in a wonderful shot massaging his thigh muscle as he still tried to stay in the ball game in left field. So here's Schuba. Fouled off upstairs, strike 1. Schuba's had 1 out of 3. The Springfield rifle, Vic Grashey. Still in the jam. First inning, 2 on. Curve is high, 1-1. Tried that slow curve. On deck is Roy Campanella. Another high curve. Ball 2, 2-1. Having watched Rassi over the last few years, sometimes the manner in which he will go in a ball game is tipped off early by his ability or lack of it to control his curve. Strike two, got the outside corner with his fastman. He is a type of pitcher, however, who, if he happens to be shaky in the beginning and can get by, will frequently settle down. Curve outside, ball three. Full count. So with two down, Buke Snyder on second and Jackie Robinson on first will be off and running with the pitch. There they go. It's a high pop foul. It may be out of play. I don't know. It is out of play. The ball went so high into the air, it even escaped us as it went above our telecasting booth. We had to wait to see just where it was going to come down back into view. That one got high up into the wind, which is blowing across the third baseline toward the stands and helped blow it on in. Snyder on second, Robinson on first, 2 outs, 3-2 on the hitter. First inning, no score. There they go. Swung on, a ground ball hit out toward Martin. He up with it to Mize. Side retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. The score at the end of the first inning, Yankees nothing, Dodgers nothing. First half of the second inning. Yogi Berra, Gene Woodling, and Irv Noren will be the first hitters for the Yankees. Young Billy Lowe's, the 22-year-old right-hander, shouldered with the responsibility of trying to pitch the Dodgers into their first World's Championship. Larry Berra has had 5 out of 19 in the series. And in passing, I think you can tip your cap to him after having had that extremely rugged day at the stadium when the ball got by him that allowed 2 runs to score in the ninth. And with the goat horns having been placed on him, he came back to play a magnificent game the next day. Inside for a ball. In there battling with the index finger of his catching hand, badly damaged. The high fly foul down the left field line is going out of play. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. A high pop-up around the mound. Reese calls for it, and the Dodger captain makes the catch. One down, the batter is Gene Woodling.
Batting in 6th position, number 14, Gene Woodling, left fielder.
Woodling has had 4 hits and 16 times at bat. 1 a pinch hit triple opening day. Strike, good fastball. There's a line drive past Robinson to right center for a base hit. Snyder cuts it off. And the throw comes back into Jack in. Woodling is on with a line single to right center, the Yankees' first hit. And coming up now is Irv Noren. Noren played opening day when Casey feared that Gene Woodling's injury would hamper his running. Noren failed to hit. Came through as a pinch hitter yesterday for New York and now has replaced Bauer in right field due to Bauer's weakness with the bat in this series. Strike. Hank, having had just one hit and 17 times at bat, and Case figured he'd better try Noren out there in right field. Ball 1-1-1. You will note some of the empty areas here, as we told you. Those who lived in the vicinity of Ebbets Field can still come on. There's some tickets left. Strike 2. Change-up got in beautifully. The reason for that, as we told you, as Red told you, the Dodgers making every effort to enable as many fans as possible to attend this series. So instead of selling the tickets, the most of the tickets, the reserve tickets, in strips for all the games, they sold them by single games, 2 to a customer. Ball 2-2-2. And a lot of fans just presume that all the tickets are gone, and despite the fact that we, along with the Dodgers themselves, made announcements that there were tickets available, a lot of folks just figured somebody else was there ahead of them and didn't bother. Strike 3. Noren went down swinging at a good fastball. Billy Martin, the batter.
Billy Martin, second base.
4 out of 15 in the series. Strike. Good fastball. The moral to be drawn from the ticket situation is this, that should the series go into its 7th and final game, you better be around. 1 ball, 1 strike. No score, top of the second inning. Ball 2, curve outside, 2-1. Hodges there holding against Woodling. Strike 2, 2-2. Good fastball in there just above the knees and over the inside part of the plate. Outside, ball 3. Full count on Martin. There goes Woodling. The ground ball foul down the third base line. The special park policeman indicated pretty good throwing arm. Woodling returning to first. Two away, 3-2 on the batter. There goes Woodling. Strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. And so at the middle of the second inning, the score is Yankees nothing, Brooklyn nothing. Last half of the second inning, the Brooklyn Dodgers sending up Roy Campanella, Gil Hodges, and Carl Furillo as their first 3 batsmen.
Dodger catcher number 39, Roy Campanella.
Campanella's had 3 out of 20. 1. Might have been a little inside. It was a fastball. Hard shot to short. Rizzuto up with it beautifully. The throw. In time, Mize got back. Fittler claims that Mize's foot was off the bag. But he got it back. It was off, but he got it back. And now, Larry Getz, the National League umpire, is telling Fittler to get back into the coach's box. Beautiful play by Rizzuto, and a follow-up. Fine performance by Mize, who had to come off the bag and then get back just ahead of Campanella. Rizzuto has made a couple of fine plays on Roy to rob him of base hits. Gil Hodges fouls it off just above us. Strike 1. No score, last half the second inning. Low outside, ball 1, 1-1. You have continued to see in this series some great shortstopping by two of the greatest exponents of the art, Reese and Rizzuto. Curve is over nicely. Strike 2, 1-2. On deck is Carl Furillo. Just outside, and the count is 2-2. Curve is swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout for Rashi.
Number 6, Carl Furillo, right fielder.
Carl Furillo stepping in. He's had 3 for 17. But whether he'd gotten a lick or not at the plate, he made one tremendous play, among others in this series. Among many fine plays, he made a tremendous one to save the Dodgers the game yesterday. Ball 1. He had to time his leap perfectly to rob Johnny Mize of his second home run of the ball game in the 11th inning, which would have deadlocked the game. Outside, ball 2, 2-0. Two balls, one strike. Good fastball he cut on. .6'1", 190-pounder. He has his ball lined on him into right field, and it's foul by about 2 feet. Foul ball hit high and deep down the left field line, out of the park. Two balls, 2 strikes. Curve is lined into left field for a base hit. Woodling throws back into Martin. And Carl Perillo lines a base hit to left for the second hit off Rashi, and up comes Billy Lowe.
Billy Lowe.
Perillo hung out the clothesline on that one. A good solid liner between third and short. Now, Art Passarella has called Tex Rickard, the Brooklyn public address announcer, to make an announcement to the fans to remove their coats and outer garments from the railings. There's Tex over there about to make the announcement. He's awaiting the first pitch, though, to the batter, Billy Lowe's. Strike.
Attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please remove the top coats from the railing in center field boxes?
Strike two. Fastball, nothing in two. Goes down swinging. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left on. And the score at the end of 2 innings, the Yankees nothing, the Dodgers nothing. The 2-inning totals, the Yankees no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. The Dodgers no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 3 left on. Red and I smiled a moment ago when Tex Rickard went to make the announcement to the fans sitting in the front boxes to remove their top coats. So often that announcement is made along the lines, will people sitting in the front boxes please remove their clothes? And just leave it that way, which of course will occasion a laugh. But Tex was on the beam on that one. Top of the third inning, Vic Rashi the batter. Fouls it off to the right of the plate, out of play. The oohs and ahs in the background, occasioned by the ball eluding the grasp of some World Series patron trying for a souvenir and someone else winding up with it. High, ball one, 1-1. Fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little roller. Off the glove, out to short. Up with his race, flips over to Hodges in time. Rashi out with Lowe's getting an assist on the play. Race to Hodges. Rashi's slowness of foot made that play possible, just as in the case of Campanella, when he was up, his comparative slowness of foot enabled Rizzuto to get that ball over to Mize, even though it pulled him off and gave Mize a chance to get back. 1 down, Gil McDougall grounded to third in the first inning. Ball 1. At the plate, Art Passarella doing the umpiring. Larry Getz umpiring at first base. Strike call over the outside corner. Bill McKinley umpiring at second of the American League. Babe Pinelli at third of the National League. Curve is over beautifully for a strike. Down the left field line, that's down the right field line, Dusty Boggess, foul line umpire. Down the left field line, Jim Honeychick of the American League. 1 ball, 2 strikes on McDougald. 1 out, 3rd inning. No score. Ball 2. Another curve. A high pop-up off to the left of the plate. Campanella and Cox moving over. Campy says he'll take it, and does. Two down, and here's Phil Rizzuto. Popped out in the 1st inning to Reese. Ball 1. Breaking stuff just a little outside. Billy Lowe's does not feature any trick deliveries. Got a good fastball and curve and changeup. Change of pace. Little roller foul down the 3rd base line. Frank Cressetti coaching at 3rd, recovering the ball. Billy Cox playing in very close for Phil in the event of a bunt and guarding that 3rd base line. High drive to deep center, going back toward his Snyder, up near the wall, and makes the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And so at the middle of the 3rd inning, the score is Yankees nothing, Dodgers nothing. Last half of the 3rd inning, 6th game of the World Series. Dodgers leading in games 3-2. Top of the Dodger order, Billy Cox. Strike 1. Billy hit a pop fly double to left in the 1st inning. No score. Strike 2. Good fastball in there. No balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball hit to McDougald. 1 away. Cox out, McDougald to Mize. Up comes the Dodger captain and shortstop, Harold Pee Wee Reese. The heart of the Dodger ball club in this series particularly. He has been their spark. Inside for a ball. Occasionally, our field camera off to the right of home plate, to the right edge of the Dodger dugout, shooting at the plate, and we'll have someone walk in front of it. The bat boy just did. There's a strike, 1-1. So you'll occasionally see a quick blur. There's a drive to left field. Woodling racing in, and he makes the catch. 2 away. Reese lines to Woodling, who had to race in for it. And up comes the Duke. Walked in the 1st inning. Billy Martin up with the ball beautifully, going to his left, and the side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And the score at the end of 3 innings of play, 0-0. The Yankees, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. The Dodgers, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. the pattern set for the first third of the ball game is right in keeping with the previous 5. So far, the Dodgers have had the lone scoring opportunity. Cox opened in the first inning of the double. This for you late viewers. The turning point of the inning coming when Reese, attempting to sacrifice him to third, bunted the ball into the air. After Snyder walked, Rashi disposed of Robinson and Schubert. So far, there's been a great deal of pressure and tension on every pitch, but nothing developing yet of tremendous excitement, but the crowd all feeling the tenses. Mickey Mantle, top of the 4th inning. Strike 1. The sun is beating down on young 22-year-old Billy Lowe's as it spotlights the youngsters' efforts to pitch the Dodgers to their first World's title. There's a bunt over the head of the pitcher. Robinson out there to grab it at second. Mickey Mantle attempting to drag one. Almost bunted one into center field. Got it as far as second, and Jackie Robinson took it. Up comes Johnny Mize. Line to Snyder in the first inning. Ball 1 inside. Low inside, ball 2. Ball 3, inside. Campanella registering a mild complaint. Nothing, top of the 4th. Inside and low, ball 4. Mize walks. The second pass given up by Billy Lowe's, L-O-E-S. A native of New York. Lives out on Long Island. As Red told you, his home's only about 20 miles from the ballpark. He lives in Queens and Astoria. Yogi Berra pops to short in the second inning. Takes inside. That ball almost got away from Campanella. Almost hit Yogi and almost got away from Campy. No score, 4th inning. There's a strike. 1-1. The young right-hander. He's serious about his work. Strike 2. Yogi took a good cut at breaking stuff. Had the fans hollering just at his swing. Ground ball out to Jackie Robinson. Up with it over to Reese for 1. Back to Hodges. It gets away from him. Barra's trying to go to second. Hodges picks the ball up, and Yogi goes into second base. No double play as the relay from Reese, after taking the throw from Robinson for the force at second on Mize, gets by Gil Hodges. There will be an error on the play. Most likely charged to Reese on the throw. Campanella talking to Billy Lowe's, telling him not to worry about anything. Berra forces Mize at second. Robinson to Reese, who's relayed to Hodges, attempting to double up Berra. It was into the dirt, skipped by Hodges, and Berra went on to second. An error on the play. The batter is Woodling, single to right center in the second inning, and the error is charged to Reese on the throw. Ball one. This is the first Yankee to have gotten as far as second base. Nice strike. Fastball in there. 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. No score. Top of the fourth. Strike 2. This fastball, the inside corner, above the knees. Billy Lowe, not awed by the man at the plate, Gene Woodling, a good hitter. He's faced a lot of good hitters. Sticking that Joe out right now, isn't he? They don't want to make that pitch. OK's the next one. There's a high drive to center. Snyder out there getting under it. Side retired. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on. And so at the middle of the fourth inning, the score, Yankees nothing, Dodgers nothing. This is Mel Allen with Red Barber at Ebbets Field. The 6th game of the World Series. No score as we come into the last half of the fourth inning. And the Dodgers have coming up Jackie Robinson, George Shuba, and Roy Campanella. The situation, the Dodgers 1 game away from the world's title. The Yankees needing the game to send it into a 7th game tomorrow. The closeness of the score and all, and the picture you're saying, I think that speaks volumes. Low outside, ball one. Jackie bounced to McDougal in the first inning into a forced play at third. There were runners on first and second at the time. Strike, got the inside corner, 1-1. Jackie was born in Cairo, Georgia, and lives in St. Albans, New York. Had his schooling on the West Coast. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Jackie went to UCLA. Strike 2, 2-2. Sharp breaking stuff over the outside part of the plate. Jackie didn't like the call on that. Strike 3 is called. Third strikeout for Rashi. Up comes George Shuba, grounded to second in the first inning. Curve is a little inside, maybe a little high. And Casey Stengel pops out of the dugout on that one. Rashi doesn't say much. Just bites his lips a little. Shuba steps out, and Rashi relaxes for a moment. Strike. That was a curve over. Jackie Robinson has struck out 5 times in the series. First time swinging, the last 4 times watching the third one. A little number foul. Reynolds slipping third strikes by him 3 times the day before yesterday. Chuck Dressen getting the ball. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, last of the 4th, no score. Curve outside, 2-2. Strikeout for Rashi. Gave him a big motion and pulled the string on him. Up comes Roy Campanella, grounded to short in the 2nd inning. Roy Campanella. High inside, ball 1. Tried a slow curve, didn't work for him. You can look at the people, notice how the chins on the hands, how tense they are. Most of them. Outside for a ball. It's one of those days when they know it can all be over. And with the game scoreless, you can read in their faces just how they feel about it. They're enjoying every second of it. We hope you are too. Gillette certainly does. Ball 3. Campanella has a look at Dressen to see if he's got a green light on a 3-0 pitch or not. Still looking at him. Chuck is looking back at him. So we'll see. Strike, 3-1. High foul out of play to the right of the plate. Up onto the roof. Full count on Campanella. Off, just above us. He let up on Campanella, too, on the 3-2 pitch. Roy timed himself a little bit better and got a piece of it. There's a shot into the hole between third and short to left. Woodling crosses back into Billy Martin. Campanella is on with a single to left field. And here's Gil Hodges. Hit given up by Rashi. Strike 1. you'll notice out in front of the plate the shadow cast by the sun behind the stands. You'll notice the uneven fringe. That's due to the men, the cameramen and others, standing on the roof. There they are. Outside, 1-1. This is not official, but from what I've heard, I understand that this will probably go down as the series that has received the greatest coverage, figuring all mediums of communication. Strike 2, curve, 1-2. Or if you want to be technical, all the media. Red, do you say stadiums or stadium? 1 ball, 2 strikes. I guess we have to sort of relieve the tension up in here a little bit, too, now and then. No score, 4th inning. Campanella on first. Foul ball, back to first. Out of play into the upper deck. Nice catch. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, 4th inning, no score. Campanella on first base. Strike 3, swinging out. 5 strikeouts for Ashe. No runs, 1 hit. No errors. 1 left on. 4 inning totals. The Yankees, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, 3 left on. The Dodgers, no runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on. Gil Hodges, though he may still erupt before the series is over, has had an unfortunate series at the plate. Nothing for 16. We're ready now for the top of the 5th inning. The bottom third of the Yankee order coming up. Herb Noren, Billy Martin, and Vic Raschi. Robinson and Hodges are high in the series from the individual standpoint, 5 strikeouts each. The most strikeouts for a 6-game series, 9, Jim Bottomley in 1930, when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals. Strike 1 to Noren. Inside, ball 1, 1-1. Billy Lowe's fastball is alive. Strike 2. Got a good curveball on that outside part of the plate for Noren 1-4. Foul ball back to third, up onto the roof, out of play. There's a liner over third. Billy Cox almost made a great catch. Noren starts to go for 2 and decides to hold up as Schuba comes in and grabs the ball. Billy Cox almost made one of the plays of the series with a leaping stab at that ball, and I believe he touched it with his glove. Looked to me like he did. Slowed it up a little. You know, it is our belief that after yesterday's great ball game, things sort of seem to start off a little slow today, all over. Noren gets back. Everybody was talking about it, even the most hardened baseball reporters. who have been watching World Series for a quarter of a century or better. One of the greatest of all time. The general consensus about yesterday's game. Somehow, this order seems to be anticlimactic, at least for the earlier innings. High, ball one. But as this game progresses, it will pick up in its general tempo from the standpoint of crowd reaction and from the standpoint of the game itself, because the championship is on the line today. A lot of folks, in other words, still numbed by the great game of yesterday. Billy Lowe's watching Noren carefully, figuring with the pitcher up next that the Yankees may be trying to hit and run. Martin does hit and run. Now our superimposition gives you a double look. It's a high fly ball to left center. Schuba and Snyder converge, and Schuba makes the catch. Noren comes back to first. One down, and up comes Vic Raschi. As we see it, this is one of those World Series where both teams are great in their competitive spirits. A bunt foul behind the plate, where, because of the inevitable, one must win and one must lose. There is no disgrace in losing, and all the power and glory in the world deserved by the winner, because it has been and is a great World Series. There's Robinson slipping behind Noren. We were calling that in advance for you because it's a little bit out of the range of the camera. Now you can see Robinson moving back as the Dodgers try to work a pickoff play in which the first baseman leaves the bag to dart toward the plate looking for the bunt, but where the second baseman races in behind the runner, and they pitch out on the hitter and then throw down to the first. The bunt is to Hodges. Up with it. The throw is to second base. Out and back to first. Out. Double play. The middle of the fifth inning. The score is Yankees nothing, Dodgers nothing. And to paraphrase my last remarks, for a real telecasting luxury, plus the valuable benefits of so many years of covering sports in his inimitable fashion, let's use the old redhead, Red Barber.
Thank you, Mel. That's another case of the pot calling the kettle black. All right, it is no score, and Vic Raschi pitching to Perillo. Foul back. High inside fastball, strike one. This is the farthest we've gone in any one of the 6 games in this World Series without a score. No score, and Perillo 1 for 1, first up last to the 5th. A beautiful afternoon, no clouds overhead, and a cross wind, which is strong, blowing from the right field corner to the left field corner. It is primarily blowing into left field. Curve over. Ball strike 2. Big Raschi, who got the Yankees even when he pitched the second game. That's a big, slow inside curve. Ball 1. That was a big curveball, and this gives him now 6 strikeouts. Raschi's other performance, he struck out 9. Gives him now 15 so far, and a round of applause for Billy Lowe's as the slender youngster. He's 6 feet, but I doubt if he weighs 170 pounds. He's built on whipcord lines. Bunts foul back on the screen. Boom, you heard it. It hit right over our heads up here in the Gillette TV catbird seat. At the stadium, we had no protection in front of us, but we were a long way behind home plate. Here, because we are so close behind home plate, we have a wire screen. In other words, the shades that Mel and I are going to get are going to be with Gillette, not with foul balls. Curve low outside, ball one. Shadow is pushing gradually from home plate straight out toward the mound. There was a high slider, 1-2. Just wide. Another quick curve, 2-2. No score. Foul ball, out of play, down the right field corner. We have not had a runner reach third base. We have had no action in either team's bullpen. The ball game is tightly held between these two central figures at the moment, Rashi and Lowe's. They are the two pitchers, and both are pitching. There's the Springfield Rifle, Springfield, Massachusetts. Trickle ball to the right side. Martin makes the play to Mize, and Lowe's is out. Two are gone, last of the fifth. Matters are so even that as Cox comes up with two out in the last of the fifth, the Dodgers have presented just one more batter than have the Yankees. Totals 0-2-0 for New York, 0-3-1 for Brooklyn. Billy Cox dropped in the double in the first inning, thrown out from third in the third. Curve, high outside, ball one. Art Passarella, back at the plate. One of the distinguished umpires that we have in the business. Curveball, line drive in the left field for a single. Woodling blocks, throws to second. Cut off the short by Rizzuto, and Cox holds his first. Big Mize takes the bag against him. And Cox was 2 for 3 this afternoon. Now has 6 for 20. And the Dodgers now have mustered 4 hits in 4 2/3 innings today, when in the second game they only got 3 hits all the way against Rashi. The batter is Reese, who is 0 for 2, has the most hits in the series with 9. Mize returns the throw. Rashi stepping off the rubber. Reese promptly backing out. We're pointing this shadow out to you, Mel and I, for 2 reasons. One, pictorially. And second, because of the effect on the game. It makes it tougher on the hitter. Slider, low outside. Ball one. Naturally, with that ball coming out of the bright sun against the mixed background of center field and into the shadows, the hitter has more trouble. No score. Reese, the ground ball to short. Rizzuto runs over, makes the unassisted force at second. Matters are closed out for the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit. So, it's the first time we've gotten this far without any score, but at the end of 5, the Yankees, no runs, the Dodgers, no runs. We move along into the sixth inning for the visiting Yankees here in Brooklyn. It's the top of the order, McDougal, Rizzuto, and Mantle. Billy Lowe is finishing his warm-up preliminaries. When the Dodgers bat in the last of the sixth, Messrs. Snyder, Robinson, Schubert. Lowe's is a very confident young man. His name is spelled L-O-E-S. His parents are Greek, and he shortened his name some years ago. And I asked him what was the original name. Well, he said, Red, if I told you, you wouldn't know how to remember it, spell it, or pronounce it. He was signed as a bonus pitcher right out of Astoria High School by Branch Rickey. Was with the Dodgers 2 years ago under Bert Schotten, but was very green. Then he was in the Army all last year. And this is his second year with Brooklyn and his third year in professional ball. Gil McDougal, who was the Rookie of the Year last year for the Yankees, 0 for 2 today. 2 for 18 for the series. Takes the curve after bluffing the bunt. Strike one. Curve is just outside. 1-1. Lowe's, as you've observed, is of a nervous temperament. He wants that ball and then he wants to throw it. Curve. Strike two. 1-2. We have no score. You can sum up the ball game in just the quick phrase, airtight pitching. The Yankees dormy, and it's the first time that they've been in this hazardous position since the Cardinal series of 42. Just outside, ball two. Curve way wide. 3-2. This is an important pitch, as this is the first batter up in the inning. A high pop fly. Reese is under it with his sunglasses down. He's got it. One away. McDougal was swinging on what looked to be a somewhat high inside fastball. Over the Yankee bench, Casey Stengel just sat down. He'd been standing up there all the time that McDougal was hitting. Stengel is no stranger to Ebbets Field. He not only played here and was a player when this park was open, but he managed here years ago. And went on to manage at Boston. Fastball inside against Rizzuto's knuckles. Ball one. The scooter. 0 for 2. Swept the bunt, and Billy Cox is correspondingly up tight at third. Curve wide. Ball two. Rizzuto has 2 for 21 in this series. He's the only Yankee now playing who was playing the last time that they were this dangerously out of a series. Pitch inside, ball three. In 1942, when the Cardinals had the Yankees this way, only one game even tighter. They were leading them 3-1. Rizzuto was playing. Pitch is high, ball four. Third walk given up by Lowe. Bill Dickey stopped him as he went down to first base. So the Yankees are now moving into their power batters. Mantle waiting at the plate. Walked in the first inning. Bunted and popped to second baseman Robinson in the fourth. He has 7 hits for 22 at-bats. Waiting on deck is big John Mize. Fastball is high outside, ball one. Lowe's has been a little, there's Stengel directing things in front of the Yankee bench. Robinson running in from second base. And Jack's approach to the mound is purely psychological. Lowe's has a habit of getting a little bit mad when close pitches are not called the way he wants them. He has evidenced his displeasure here in this inning. Robinson just came over there to slow him down. Strike. Just above the knees. 1-1. Hodges holding first against the most dangerous base runner for the Yankees, Bill Rizzuto. There's a super imposition. Curve low inside. Ball two. Fastball is hit high into deep left center. Schuber fading back. Sunglasses down. Makes the catch. And 2 men are out. 2 out, no score. And here's the storybook fella. Big Johnny Mize. He's 3 years older than that number he's wearing, which is 36. Mize is 0 for 1 today. A fly to center in the first inning, a walk in the fourth. There is a bouncer to Robinson. He makes the play either way and goes to first on Mize. He's had a fast runner. So at the middle of the 6th inning, the score stands. New York nothing, Brooklyn nothing. The third baseman for the Yankees is McDougal. Shortstop is Rizzuto, and Martin is at second. Rashi on the mound. First baseman is Big Johnny Mize. There he is. First base coach is Jake Pittler. Just to pop around, let you see everybody. Snyder to hit. Barrow the catcher. Plate umpire Art Passarello, the American League staff. Snyder, one of the heroes of yesterday, walked in the first inning and grounded out second to first in the third today. He's 0 for 1. For the series, he's 7 for 23. Boom! Look out. Look out. You needn't look anymore. The picture told you the story. Snyder hauled off and hit one high over that 40-foot screen into Bedford Avenue here in Brooklyn, and it is 1-0 favor the Dodgers. Robinson takes ball one, high outside. Snyder, that gives him his 8th hit, his 3rd home run, his 7th run batted in. Robinson 0 for 2 today. Call strike. The Dodgers driving for their first World Championship, and this is their 6th attempt. They are now leading 1-0 and leading in games 3-2. Curve high inside. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Snyder has now driven in the last 5 runs for the Dodgers. The last 4 yesterday and the only one today. Robinson, a foul ball. It is well that it was foul because Jack slipped at the plate and had not even moved out of batter's box. The ball was just a couple of inches foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's probably a good thing that there is the same heavy screen in front of Walter O'Malley's box that we have in front of Mel and me, or he'd have jumped out of there just now. Robinson, a high fly ball into deep left, Woodling back. Stays with it for the out. 1 away. George Schuber, who is starting today, his start was necessitated because of the injury to Pafko. The Dodgers now have 5 able-bodied outfielders, including the veteran Tommy Holmes, who finished the game yesterday, and the young rookie from Havana, Cuba, who is just in his first year of professional ball. Came up to the Dodgers late from St. Paul, Edmundo Amaro. Dick Williams, who was a regular outfielder in August, broke his shoulder. There's Rashi, who has a real job on his hands. Gives Schuber a low inside curve, and it is strike 1. Curve, swung missed. Strike 2. Snyder's 3rd home run has just tied one of Babe Ruth's records. The most home runs, 3 in a 6-game series. Ball 1. The records naturally detail the 5-game series, 6-game series, etc. But the great home run hitting in a World Series were the 4 home runs hit in a 4-game series in 28 by Lou Gehrig. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3. He changed up again and struck him out, just as he did in the 4th inning, as Mel pointed out to you. 7 strikeouts for Rashi today, 16 so far in the Classic. The second start. Roy Campanella is 1 for 2 today. He has 4 hits in the series, and half of them off Rashi. 1-0 Brooklyn. Snyder continuing to write his name in big letters. Curveball swung on and fouled over into the stand. Trickle ball back to the mound. That is all for Roy. And so the 6th inning ends as Snyder gets a hand as he goes running out to center field. 1 run, 1 hit. As Billy Lowe's goes out to the mound, Mel has just dug in the Little Red Book and discovered that Snyder's home run has tied another World Series record. For a 6-game series, this is the 2nd time in history that the 2 clubs have hit a total of 11 home runs. The Dodgers have had 5, Snyder 3 of them, and the Yankees have hit 6. In the series of 36 between the Yankees and the Giants, that went 6 games, 11 home runs were hit then. Lowe's on the mound, Campanella back of the plate. The Yankees will be sending up Berra, Woodling, and Norin. Do you see the left index finger that is taped by Berra? Well, he's not complaining. He's not volunteering any information. But we did get him to confess before the game that every ball he catches, especially those that are low, hurts that finger. And he just cannot get around up there at the plate with that bat. Swings at a curve and fouls it. Strike one. Curve high outside. Let up curve. 1-1. The Dodgers and Snyder won. The Yankees nothing. Fastball is high. Ball 2. There's the close-up with our 40-inch reflector lens. Time is called. That's Charlie DiGiovanni, the Brooklyn bat boy, taking Carl Ferrello's sunglasses in right field. The reason Carl had not been using them now was because from where he was, the sun was not low enough to be impinging over the roof of the stands. But as you can see by the shadow in the infield, it is setting. The 2-1 pitch. Foul back. Two balls, two strikes. Curve, fouled off. A World Series is a tremendous challenge to the players, to the umpires. I'd like to say that it's been a tremendous challenge to our camera crews here at Ebbets Field and at Yankee Stadium. And they've done a great job. It's a very complicated process, and that ball moves very suddenly on you. And you have no warning. Our compliments to the cameraman. Foul ball back into Campanella's left chest. Waiting on deck is Woodling. Campanella rubbed that left chest, but he didn't get up out of his crouch. 2-2 pitch. Ball hit toward the right field corner, close to the line. Drops foul in front of the Brooklyn bullpen. Hit up against the roll of infield covering. Two and two. A high drive. That's trouble. It's an even up ball game. And Yogi Berra belts one. An identical blow to Duke Snider's. High over the screen and into Bedford Avenue. And the ball game is even. The Yankees a moment ago before that swing were down a game and down a run. They're still down a game, but the runs are even. There they are up there on the scoreboard. And this sets a new record now for the most home runs hit by two teams in a six-game series. 12. Up now is Gene Woodling. Curveball is in for a called strike. Woodling got the first of the Yankee hits when he singled in the second inning. Go out to center field his next time. He is adjudged to have swung. Strike two. He could not check the impetus of the bat. Now the Brooklyn bullpen for the first time is active. The left-hander, number 16, is Lehman. The right-hander is Johnny Rutherford. Each has relieved once previously. It's a two-strike count to Woodling, who's a little unhappy about it. What a series. What a ball game. Okay, the ice is broken now. A home run each way. First Snyder and then Berra. That home run by Berra, by the way, is his fourth World Series home run. Curve low. Ball one. One ball, two strikes. Close up of blows. Youngster, 22 years old. Outside. Ball 2.
2-2.
There's the old professor, as they call him, Casey Stengel. That bench must be hot. He's standing up a lot today. A base hit through the middle for Woodling. Natter retrieves, throws in, and Woodling holds on at first. A single through the middle. The Yankees held to 2 hits for 6 innings and no runs. Have answered back here in the 7th with 2 hits and 1 run. Irv Noren, after striking out in the 2nd, singled to left field in the 5th. Boy, this series is enough to give you the high hysterics, isn't it? Ball is low outside. Ball 1. Yankees won, the Dodgers won. As a look over on the Brooklyn bench, manager Charlie Dresden, partly obscured by the post. He's watching Lowe's very carefully, because he has to make a decision one way or the other, whether to go with him or replace him. Fastball is fouled over into the Yankee dugout. It just missed hitting manager Stengel. Ball and a strike. Nobody out. And they balk. It's a balk. Lowe started to pop, and the ball falls out of his hands. A balk is called because he was getting ready to deliver the ball. And Woodling walks on to second, and manager Dresden is en route to the mound. So Lowe is charged with a balk, and there goes the little skipper, who has done such a great job bringing this Brooklyn club along all year. It's a balk, the first we've had in the series. Campanella, number 39, the catcher. Charlie Dresden, number 7. He's talking to Lowe's. Situation is now changed for the Yankees. With a 1-ball, 1-strike count at the plate, the balk moves the potential tie-breaking run to second base. Well, what do we have next? Strike swinging. Lowe's came down with his slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Strike 3. He snuck the fastball on the inside, and Noren is unhappy about it. That is the 3rd Yankee to be struck out today. Second baseman Billy Martin is 0 for 2. He is 4 for 17 in the series. Runner at second base is Woodling. 1 out. Curve high outside. First base is open. Home runs in rapid succession and a 1-1 tie. Curve is too high. Ball 2. Curve, low outside. Ball 3. Frankie Crosetti coaching at third. Down in the bullpen, Rutherford, the right-hander, Lehman, the left-hander for Brooklyn. A strike. He's judged to have swung on a high pitch. Martin couldn't check his swing. Backs out. 3 balls, 1 strike. That so-called half swing is a puzzling thing for the plate umpire. He is certain he's going to get an argument no matter which way he calls it. He calls it, he gets it from the hitter. He doesn't call it, he gets it from the defense. A foul ball outside first. Kicking on down toward the Brooklyn bullpen. Three and 2 is the count. A new record for total home runs for 2 ball clubs has now been set for a 6-game series, a total of 12. The Yankees have tied the pitch is curve swung on a high pop fly. Billy Cox, the third baseman, makes the grab for the second out. The Yankees tie their own record of the most home runs hit by themselves in a 6-game series with 7. The Dodgers have hit 5. The old record for home runs total by both clubs in the 6-game series was 11. All right, Vic Raschi gets a big hand. His catcher just put him back on even terms, and he's got a chance to put himself a run up. Woodling is at second base on the single and the balk. 2 men are out. Raschi is 0 for 2 today. Curve is hit right back off the shins of the pitcher. Hodges can't get it. It's into right field. Here is Woodley coming on toward the plate, and it's a 2-1 game for the Yankees. Raschi hit that ball solidly off of Lowe's shin. So solidly, in fact, that it turned into right field for a base hit. And that is, in every sense of the word, a hit off Lowe's. And this reminds you back a World Series game between the Yankees and the Giants when a ball was hit off Freddie Fitzsimmons. And also there was a ball hit again off Fitzsimmons in a series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. So the Yankees now go a run up. And Vic Raschi drives in the run himself, hitting it right off of Lowe's shin into right field. Woodling running with 2 outs, snap it home easily. And Lowe's is being given a chance to throw a few pitches to be certain that his underpinning is all right. Now the Yankees, needing this game to stay alive and throw it into a 7-game series, are a run up. Just a few moments ago, they were a run back. For the Yankees, 2-5-0. For the Dodgers, 1-5-1. And the battle rages. McDougal takes a curve low. Ball 1. Curve low outside. Ball 2. As you know, Lehman and Rutherford are in the bullpen. And that is indicative because it tells you that Joe Black is being very carefully held in abeyance for tomorrow, if there has to be a tomorrow. Pitch is low outside, ball 3. Lowe's having his troubles here in the 7th. Dara, with 2 strikes on him, suddenly belted one into out of Ebbets Field into Bedford Avenue to tie it. Then came the single through the middle by Woodling. Then Lowe's balked when the ball fell out of his right hand as he started to pump. Then with 2 down, Raschi singled off Lowe's shin. Ball 4. And McDougal draws the base on ball, which pushes Rashi down to second base. 4 walks off Lowe's. So Charlie Dresden is having to measure himself by trying to win today's game and yet be ready for tomorrow. Manager Stengel is in no such position. He has to think about tomorrow, but he's got to think about today first. For example, Stengel could not hesitate to bring in, say, Ali Reynolds today if he needed him, because he's got to get today's game or there won't be any tomorrow. Dresden, of course, can hold Joe Black back, which so far he's doing. Now Phil Rizzuto. Hasn't been a series like this since these two clubs tangled in 47. Curve, low outside, ball 1, and Lowe's has missed now with his last 5 pitches. Youngsters in trouble. Ground ball to third. Cox goes to first base, and Rizzuto is out. Well, Cox opened himself to the second guesses. He could have stepped on third, but he chose to throw. So, the Yankees rally, and in the middle of the 7th inning, the score is New York 2, Brooklyn 1. And we are moving into the last of the 7th inning. Vic Rashi, now the strong man, and he has a 1-run lead to defend, as the Yankees must have this ball game if we play again tomorrow. Rashi and Berra. Berra, who opened up the 7th and got it quickly even after Snyder had Homan in the 6th. The Yankees 2. Dodgers 1. And the batter is Gil Hodges, who is 0 for 2 today, both strikeouts, and is 0 for 16. 7 men previously in the history of World Series have gone all the way through, playing as regulars in every game and failed to get a hit. Curve ball, and Rashi has been feeding Big Hodges curves. Strike 1. Fastball, inside and high, strike 2. High inside, letter ball. 1-2. And there's Preacher Rowe, who pitched and won the 3rd game of the series, the opener at the stadium, now beginning to get ready in the bullpen for Brooklyn. Lowe's is scheduled to hit 3rd here in the 7th. Hodges bangs a curve, foul, outside 3rd. If Justin is still needing a run, when the pitcher spot comes up, he may feel he'll have to go to his bench. So you saw the old gentleman, Preacher Rowe, starting to warm up. And it must be plainly apparent that Justin says, come what may today, if necessary, black tomorrow. The curve is wide, and not by much either. 2-2. Well, Mel and I thought when we worked that 47 series between these two teams that we had it. But this one just picked up where that one left off. Fastball, strike 3. And Hodges is struck out for the 3rd straight time by Rashi. That's the 8th strikeout for Vic, giving him 17 all told. 1 down. Yankees 2, Dodgers 1. And up now is Carl Ferrello, singled in the 2nd. Struck out in the 5th. Pitch low inside. Ball 1. Rashi with 8 strikeouts today. 9 in the 2nd game, giving him 17 so far. is getting close to the record for the most strikeouts by a pitcher in a 6-game series. Chief Bender totaled 20 in the 6-game series in 1911. Ground ball, wide to first. Mize. The unassisted put up. 2 are up. Now will it be Lowe's or a hitter? And out of the dugout steps Billy Lowe's. On his way to the plate. Lowe's is 0 for 2. Not a Brooklyn pitcher has gotten a base hit. Third one now. And Lowe's is on. This is the third pitcher to get a hit. This is the first Brooklyn one. Lopat of the Yankees got a base hit and drove in a run. Rashi got the second pitcher's hit just now in the 7th, which you saw, and drove in the second run as the Yankees lead 2-1. And now Lowe's puts the tying run on at first with a single through first baseman Johnny Mize. So Charlie Dresden is staying with his pitchers. He stayed with Erskine yesterday, and he stayed with Lowe's today. There is a close-up study of Billy Cox, who has picked up the nickname in this series of the Hands. Curve, low outside. Ball 1. Rashi, big and strong though he is, remember, is pitching on 2 days rest, and we're getting late now into this ball game. And every pitch that he's thrown has been a pitch under pressure. Make it 3 days rest for Rashi. 3 days rest. Strike call. 1-1. Jake Pittler, coaching at first, backs back into his box. Mize is not holding first base closely against Lowe's. He doesn't expect him to run. Curve is low. Ball 2. You noticed when the camera was on Lowe's that he was rubbing that left kneecap of his, where Rashi belted that base hit off of it. Low inside, ball 3. And it's Charlie Dresden giving the signs down at third base. Jim Turner, the pitching coach of the Yankees, has just waved down to the Yankee bullpen for the first action. And it's a Stengel. You've got a flash of him standing in front of the Yankee dugout. Rashi has suddenly fallen behind, 3-1. And the Yankees are going to work. And that is Reynolds in the bullpen. It has to be Reynolds. Take another look at him. It has to be the Chief. The curve is over. There goes Lowe's running. And the throw gets away. So Lowe's runs. The Dodgers take one way or the other and then barrel through the ball into the dirt at second base. And the tying run is suddenly on at second. The pitcher is not going to go down 3-1 unless they have ordered the hit and run, and if they ordered it, then Cox missed it at the plate. However, I would think that Lowe's must have taken off. I don't know. But there either was a sign missed or a confusion on the part of either Lowe's or Cox. And out of the confusion, Lowe's winds up at second base as Barrow throws the ball into the dirt. The official scores give it a stolen base because it was that close. Now the tying runs at second, and Lowe's is credited with a steal. Well, something went wrong and then wound up all right if something went wrong for the Yankees. The 3-2 pitch to Cox is swung on and missed, strike 3, and Rashi settles back. So for the second straight time, 9 strikeouts in the game for Rashi. And at the end of 7 innings, it's the Yankees 2 and the Dodgers 1. Well, when you're in front of an open microphone as well as acting cameras, you hesitate to take a guess. But if I had to be pinned down, I would guess that Lowe's got confused and thought that 3-1 pitch just now was a 3-2 pitch. So there's Lowe's back on. Had his troubles there in the 7th, including having Rashi bust one right off of his legs. Campanella back at the plate. As the throw down to Robinson reached the shortstop, flips the ball. And there is Preacher Rowe, who's had a pretty good amount of time to start throwing, and he's throwing seriously. The Yankees 2, the Dodgers 1. You saw Reynolds get up a moment ago. In other words, when you are behind as the Yankees are, you don't hold anything back. Reynolds was up just a moment ago, had Rashi flippered. Call strike. Bridges, utility infielder with a mitt, running down to the bullpen to help out. Mantle hits a high fly ball. It's deep left center field. It's way out there. It's way out there, and it is in there. I mean it's in there. Mickey Mantle belts another one. Boy, did he hit it. A rousing reception for him back in the Yankee bench. Well, all records for home runs hit by a single team as well as by both teams in a 6-game series have been shattered. And up now is Johnny Mize, who is 0 for 2 today. The Yankees lead 3-1. Let up curve is over for a called strike. Lehman is 16. Rutherford is 15. Rowe is 28. Mize hits a high foul, back out of play. We'll take another look down at the Brooklyn bullpen because something significant has taken place. Rowe has stopped throwing. And they go back to Lehman and Rutherford, which means Rowe and Black for tomorrow. Pitch is high, ball 1. You play a ball game, of course, by the situation that confronts you, batter by batter. But at the moment, Dressen's thinking must be Rowe and Black or Black and Rowe for tomorrow. Mize hits a foul ball down right field lower stand. High pop up toward first. Hodges makes the catch, and Mize is out. Well, here is Yogi Berra, who primed the Yankees scoring pump when he hit the home run in the 7th to tied it up at 1-1. Here is Berra. The Yankees have hit 8 home runs, which is a new record for any team in a 6-game series. The Dodgers have hit 5. Curve is over. And the 13, hit jointly by the 2 squads in a 6-game series, establishes a new record by 2. Right now, it's the ball game. The Yankees ahead 3-1. Curve. Strike 2. Curve high inside. Ball 1. That home run of Mantle's, by the way, was his 8th hit. He has the most of any of the Yankees. Berra has 6. Fly ball to right center. Snyder. It's the catch. Very graceful outfielder. Two men are out. This was one ball game that you didn't have to ask the managers who was going to pitch tomorrow. You knew that Stengel was going to come with Rasher today, follow with Reynolds if he had to, and then if he won the ball game, come back with Reynolds tomorrow, unless he had to use him up today. And you knew that Dresden was going to go with Lowe's and withhold Joe Black against the seventh game eventuality. Here's Woodley. Call strike. Nothing in one. You also saw in the bullpen that first Charlie was going to use Rowe, then decided to hold him back against needing him tomorrow. Inside, ball one. The paid attendance has just come down, 30,037. 30,037 paid. Foul ball. One ball, two strikes. One and two. Fastball wide. 2-2. Curve on the outside. 3-2. High, ball four. This is walk number 5, given up by Lowe's. Woodling taking over at first. This has been a painful series for Woodling. He's had a groin injury, but he's playing, and the hitter is Norrin. Struck out swinging in the second. Singled to left in the fifth. Took a third strike in the seventh. 2 hits for 7. Drills the ball into right field. Line drive single. Perello up with it. And Woodling holding at second base. So with 2 down, the Yankees ahead 3-1. The Yankees are threatening for more. Runners at first and second. For the Yankees, 3 runs, 7 hits and no errors. For the Dodgers, 1 run, 6 hits and 1 error. The faithful, as they call the fans here at Ebbets Field, had hardly a chance to smack their lips over Snyder's home run in the 6th when Berra homered in the 7th. And then with the runner at second, Rashy singled off Lowe's legs. Billy Martin, 6th pitch high inside, ball 1. Then to open up the 8th inning, a home run by Mantle. He has tremendous power. Curve high inside, ball 2. Lowe's won 11, lost 8 in the pennant race. Fastball. Right off the hand. 2-1. Charlie Dresden had no so-called stop pitcher in the course of the season. He had some 17 pitches that he got decisions out of. He had a scramble staff all year. Ball 3. The Dodgers, for example, only had 50 complete games pitched for them all year long. Foul ball. Martin began the year, spring training camp, by breaking an ankle. fought his way along, wound up as a regular second baseman. He's a spunky little kid. Ground ball slowly up to third. Cox goes to first. In time for the out. For the Yankees in the top of the 8th inning, 1 run, 2 hits. And in the middle of the 8th, the score is the Yankees 3, the Dodgers 1.
For the New York Yankees, number 41, Joe Collins, now playing first base.
You heard the announcement of the public address system that Joe Collins, a much better fielding first baseman than the venerable John Mize, takes over at first base. The Yankees making a defensive switch now. They're leading 3-1. So Joe Collins takes over. And Mize today did not hit a ball hard. He was stopped 0 for 3. But you can't take away from what he's already achieved in this series. The batter is Reese. Low inside, ball 1. When I said that Mize hadn't hit a ball hard, he hit one in the first inning that made Snyder run. Then he walked in the 4th, grounded out second to first in the 6th, and popped up the first in the 8th. So he did hit one hard, but didn't get one safe. Call strike on the outside. Reese leads the players with the most hits with 9, but he has been stopped cold by Rashi today. He's 0 for 3. Bounces a curve to short. Rizzuto flips it over to Collins, and Reese is up. 1 away, last of the 8th inning. The batter is Snyder. Walked in the first inning, thrown out second to first in the 3rd, and then hit the home run in the 6th, which put the Dodgers ahead 1-0. But the pattern in both of Rash's games has been the same. The Dodgers going ahead 1-0, and then the Yankees immediately bouncing back to go out in front. Curve high outside. Ball 1. Snyder has driven in the last 5 Brooklyn runs. There's another one. A ball. Well, the Duke is tearing up the Peacocks at 2 successive home runs, and Rashi, poker face, stands there, still has a 1-run lead. So the Yankees 3, the Dodgers 2 with 1 out last of the 8th inning. And the Yankee bullpen going to work. There is Reynolds. That's Robinson hitting a pitch high into deep left. Whittling waiting. And 2 men are out. Well, for the second time, Reynolds has been called upon. There is manager Stengel going out to the mound. This thing is getting too close to comfort for old Case. An extraneous noise, then there was a jet high overhead. You hear them and then they're gone. No balls, 1 strike. Attempt foul. The Yankees pull this out. Tickets, box seats, reserved seats, standing room will go on sale right here at Ebbets Field. As soon as the game is over, we'll stay on sale until midnight. Then we'll be on sale again tomorrow morning at 9. Curve is high and outside. Ball 1. 1-2. Curve, lined, foul down the left field line. Holmes retrieving, throwing it out. All of the infield except second base is now in the shadow of the stand. Yankees 3, Dodgers 2. There's a ball drilled toward left field. In for the base hit. There was a hit and run on that play, and McDougal goes around to third. Rizzuto holds it first as the throw goes to second. So single had McDougal running, and Rizzuto pulled the ball for a long single into left. And Charlie Dresden is on his way out to the mound. Hit number 9 off young Lowe's, who started getting into trouble in the 7th inning. One man out. The Yankees threatening with men at first and third, and Preacher Rowe is being brought on to relieve. And Lowe's is lifted after 8 1/3 innings.
Now coming into pitch for the Dodgers, number 28, Preacher Rowe.
Close-up study of Lowe's. He's a grimly unhappy young man. There's old Preach now. Putting up down the pulpit. Charlie Dresden giving his instructions, how he wants Mantle pitched to and how he wants the infield to play accordingly. Mantle, of course, will go up there hitting right-handed. He switches. This will be Rowe's 3rd World Series appearance. Lowe gets a big hand. Captain Reese, the shortstop, standing at the mound. Throws in no hurry. Fuss around. Goes over and checks something with Robinson. Rowe in 49 beat the Yankees with a shutout. Then he pitched the 3rd game of this series, had to struggle, but he won it. Now he's relieving for the first time in a World Series and his 3rd World Series appearance. We can only sort of guess because we don't know just how the thing operates, but I want to ask Mel a question. Mel, even though with Reynolds coming on to relieve and having to work an inning and a third as a minimum, in the event that the Yankees win this one, do you think that Stengel will come right back with Reynolds again to start him against Joe Black tomorrow?
I have no doubt of it personally, although Casey has been known to do some odd things in maneuvering, but successfully over the last 4 years. But I don't see how in the world he can do anything but come back with Allie Reynolds.
So your thought is, if the Yankees pull this one out to throw this into a 7-game series, we'll see the 2 starting pitchers going at it again. The fellows that open it up, Reynolds and Black.
He'll have to do it, just as you remember Spec Shea. In the 47 series, had to come back for the third time. He didn't last very long, but he came back. He has to.
Well, here we go. This one is still up for grabs. Yankees leading 3-2, and leading because the third run was Mantle's home run, his last at-bat. Rowe pitches him high outside for ball one. The infield is up. Hodges holding the bag against Rizzuto at first. There's McDougal down off third. The throw to third base, and Cox had to make a brilliant stop to prevent that ball being thrown wild. Campanella almost threw it away, but for the hands down there at third. All right, ball two. High outside, ball three. You get the idea on these last two pitches. The Dodgers were expecting a squeeze. But now the squeeze is on Rowe. He's behind 3-0. Ball four, and Mantle walks. The bases are loaded. And I gather now that Dressen's idea was not to let Mantle hit one. And Casey Stengel is calling back Joe Collins to talk to him. The bases are loaded. One man out. And here is first baseman Joe Collins. He's to be the hitter. Here he comes. Collins is 0 for 11. Up for his first at-bat today. Took over from Myers with the glove an inning ago. There are runners everywhere you look. 3 on. 1 out. Infield in tight. Curve low outside, ball one. Rowe working slowly, carefully. Bauer is warming up in the Yankee bullpen, may go into the outfield. Curveball is low, ball two, and Rowe's unhappy on the decision. You got a flash just now, the Brooklyn bullpen, where these two pitchers, Lehman and Rutherford, are back warming up. Rowe is visibly upset on that decision. Reese takes the ball. Rowe wouldn't receive it. Umpire Passarella wants to examine the ball. And it's all right. Well, everything is on hair trigger edge. Enormous personal and professional prestige is at stake for these players, to say nothing of about $2,200 or $2,300, which represents the difference between the winners and the losers' players' share. Foul ball. 2-1. Bases are loaded. Mantle at first, Rizzuto at second, McDougal at third. Yankees leading by a run and trying to get some ninth inning insurance. Low outside, ball three. 3-1. And Rowe is unhappy. Well, it's quite a situation. Bases loaded. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Top of the 9th. Ground ball hit foul outside first. It's now 3-2. Remember, on this 3-2 pitch, the runners are not going to be just cutting loose and going. Only one man is out. 3 on. Strike 3. That was a sliding curveball, and Rose struck him out. Now 2 men are gone. And as I think back over the top of this 9th inning, when Rowe came on with Mantle, a very dangerous hitter and a switch hitter, going up there right-handed. Rowe was not close with any one of his 4 pitches. And I think that Dresden ordered him to throw just 4 wide ones. If Mantle wanted to reach for him, okay, but otherwise walk him, put him on, and take his chance on first the left-hand hitting Collins, who has gone like the Brooklyn first baseman without a hit, and then have Rowe pitch to Berra. So here is the Yogi, who belted a home run for the Yankee first score in the 7th. Playing despite that injured left index finger. Infield back, 2 out. Curve low outside, and Campanella down into the dirt to block it. Barrow was pointing to that ball, not for Campanella's sake, but pointing to it for the base runner's sake. In other words, there it is, fellas, no run. Well, this series has gone from one big moment to another, so we'll just dispense with the adjectives. Full curve over, and look at Berra. 1 ball, 1 strike. Friends, when you realize how much is up for grabs, whenever you have a close pitch, the umpire back of the plate has got to get a squawk. In other words, if he'd called that one the other way, Rowe would have come storming off there. You wonder why it is men want to take that abuse and be umpires. Curve swung on, hit to right field. Back goes Torello, makes the catch. And that was a tough catch because it was right into the sun. You could see the sun glistening on his glasses. So Rowe comes on and gets the Yankees out. He walks Mantle, and I think deliberately. Although it's not that he scored that way. Strikes out Collins after being behind on him 3-1, and then gets Barrow on a line drive to right. It's a real pleasure for the folks at Gillette, friends, to send you these great sporting events. And here is Allie Reynolds, truly great competitor. And he is at one of the crossroads of his career right now. You're looking over toward the Brooklyn bench. Number 38 is the fella that is wearing a suit for the Dodgers, but he can't play. That is Dick Williams, who broke his right shoulder the last time the Dodgers were at St. Louis. Commissioner Ford Frick gave him special permission to stay on the bench, but also told him that he was silenced, that he couldn't holler at umpires. Now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Gil Hodges, and here's a new right fielder for the Yankees, Hank Bauer. Right field is the tricky field, especially this time of day here at Brooklyn. So Bauer goes out to right field, replacing Noren as a defensive move for New York, leading 3-2. And Gil Hodges, who has not a hit in the series, has struck out all 3 times. Hodges is relieved, and Nelson will hit for him.
Number 9, Hank Bauer, now playing right field.
So the Yankees come up with a new right fielder. The Dodgers come up with a pinch hitter. Reynolds relieved and got the 3rd out and left the tying run at second base last inning. He's now ready to go. How about you all? Well, in all this excitement, friends, hope you enjoy it, but just set loose now and let's see what happens. A slow curve is slipped in for a call strike. The last third of the Brooklyn list up here in the last of the ninth, and that's Ben Wade in the Brooklyn bullpen. Swings above the slider, strike two. Well, I'll guarantee you that the Chief is on the warpath. He's mad at everybody right now. These close-up shots are very revealing, aren't they? Strike three. Boom. That was a high slider. Well, Reynolds came on and pitched to one man in the eighth inning and struck him out. It was Campanella. Made him throw his bat past the mound. Now he strikes out pinch hitter Nelson. And up steps Carl Perello. Ball game hanging the Yankees 3 and the Dodgers 2. Foul back. No balls, one strike. I was a look over there at the Gillette radio booth. Bill Corum, Jack Brickhouse, Al Helper over there where that foul ball almost went in. And on deck is the injured Andy Papko as a pinch hitter for Rowe. Perello fouls it on top of the first base stand. However, that does not mean that Papko is going to hit. Perello's at bat could change the complexion of the game. But we'll wait and see. Reynolds, formidable figure. Curve is down into the dirt and back. Ball one. One ball, two strikes. One out. These clubs are really giving each other a battle, aren't they? Inside at the kneecap. Ball two. There's the central figure right now. Allie Reynolds relieving. Lehman now throwing along with Wade in the Brooklyn bullpen. Inside, ball three. Fastball. Right, the string is out. Perello has had 1 for 3 today. He has had 4 hits, 20 at-bats in the series. Foul ball in the upper stand, back to first. Fan two. Umpire's assistant bringing up a new supply of baseballs. Low, ball 4, and the tying run is walked to first base. So Perello is on, and Andy Papko will hit for Preacher Rowe. Here is Andy Papko with a pull muscle, back of his right leg, unable to start, is now up to the pinch hitter. The Yankee bullpen on the double, going back to work again. Kazaba and Gorman. Yankees 3, the Dodgers 2. Call strike. The tying run at first base with 1 out. Winning run at the plate. That's the tactical situation that confronts Reynolds and New York. Low for ball 1. Boy, this game has gotten like yesterday. It's gotten to be a doozy. In fact, add them up and it's double-jointed deuces. Fastball inside. Ball 2. Reynolds training, putting everything he can on these pitches. As manager Stengel. Low outside, ball 3. Stengel motioning one of his defensive players. All right, 3 balls, 1 strike. High pop-up. There's the shortstop, Rizzuto. And 2 men are out. So Papko getting the green light from Dresden to swing on the 3-1 pitch. Swung, popped to short. And we have 1 out left in this ball game. That is at the moment. Billy Cox, who has performed so brilliantly at third base with his glove, has had 2 hits today. Had 6 hits in the series. Yankees 3, the Dodgers 2. 2 out. Runner at first base. Collins holding against Pirello. Carl dives back with a hand. That's a habit of his. He finds he can get back to a bag quicker by diving than sliding. Stengel setting his defense. Curve is low. Ball 1. Reynolds fighting to defend this run that is so precious. Cox a ground ball to third. McDougal up with it despite a bad hop to throw to first. And Cox is out. We go into game 7. That ball took a very erratic down jump, and McDougal made a brilliant play to come up with it. So, Reynolds defends it, and we now are going all the way. And the final score, the Yankees 3 runs, 9 hits, and no error. And the Dodgers 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Well, in a moment, Mel Allen will review the highlights of the game for you.